What's up, guys? EJ from EJ's Press here. This is not going to be a rambling on video. This is something else today. This is a car rant. A tweet I saw caught my attention, and it covers a subject that's gaining some controversy. It's about a certain movie that's coming out that has gotten some positive and negative attention in the media. It is not exactly something that everybody's excited to see, so bear that in mind. Bear in mind, I do have feelings about this movie. I'm sure someday I'll cover them. I've been thinking about doing a rambling on video, so you know what? If you think, hey, EJ, you should do a video about this movie, how you feel about it, how you think it's going to do, why you feel the way you do, by all means, let me know in the comments. But anyway, there was a tweet I saw from The Verge that said that this movie had a lot on its plate and had to kind of struggle under a lot of weight. And one of the things they referenced was that it has to build on existing backstories. Now, I hear that and I think, why is that a burden? You know, they're claiming that having to build on existing backstories for characters we've seen in other movies is a burden. They're claiming that this is going to make it more difficult to produce this film, to make this film work. To which I say, what are you talking about? I write serialized fiction, one, because I like the characters that I create and I want to keep dealing with them, and two, because those characters I create are much easier to work with if they can walk on the page and my audience already knows what they're like. If they already know what to expect from these characters, I already have an idea of how these characters are going to behave, because I don't have to then go and say, well, I've got to come up with this new backstory for a character that's going to fill a very similar role, but has to be different and distinct in personality and whatnot. I can just say, you know what, I liked this character in this other book. It would make sense for them to be right here, so let's just bring them in. That way people will see, hey, there's that character I really liked from the last book. Or in the case of some characters, I might say, oh, great, here comes this guy again. But expanding on backstories is not a burden. Expanding on backstories is a privilege. Being able to take something that is already established and build on that and create more information and be able to say, okay, so you know how they're like this, this is why. Or to illustrate what makes them tick in more depth, that's a blessing, because most characters don't get that. There was no prequel to Gone with the Wind. There was no sequel to Lord of the Rings. We never see what happens to Aragorn explicitly after the end of the Lord of the Rings. You know, we know from the appendices that he eventually dies, but we don't actually get to see it happen. We don't see anything in the interim. We don't see what his life was like explicitly before the Fellowship. So having the chance in any sort of serialized fiction, in any sort of saga or legacy or film series, is a huge, great thing that is not a burden. It is the opposite of a burden. It is a blessing for a writer. One, again, because they get to take characters and explore them more deeply, which as a writer you should want to do. If you've written likable characters, you should want to explore them more. And two, it allows you as a writer to build on something. Something is already there. It is already established. Your audience knows what to expect from them. You know how they're going to behave. You know how they fit already. You don't have to create a new character from scratch. You already have one that exists. So that's just a silly reason for certain things happening in relation to this movie. It's one of the reasons I think I am not going to see it until probably the third or fourth week that it's out, depending on how long it's in theaters. Because everything I see about this movie tells me that it's being mismanaged. Everything I see about this movie tells me that it is not in existence to entertain. It does not exist to spread a positive message or to entertain people. It exists for the sake of an agenda. It doesn't exist because someone had a creative vision. It exists because someone wanted to say something, which are two very different things. And yeah, it's another example, I think, of people making up adversity for the movie which we've seen because there is this sense around the movie that the rats know the ship is sinking, almost, if you will, to if you'll bear with my analogy. There's this sense that the rats are not staying on the sinking ship. They are realizing, hey, a lot of this stuff kind of smells funky. A lot of this stuff does not line up. It's not going to be as successful as we want, so we have to start justifying it. Before the movie has even come out, I'll add. This is all in reaction to preliminary reviews for the movie. So anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest. I just had to make a little rant. So that is that. This might be the first of many videos in the car. There are other YouTube channels out there that have car videos. And who knows, maybe that's the next big thing for YouTube. We'll find out. In any case, I'm your host, EJ. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, drop a comment if you want me to make a long form video on this particular movie. I would be more than happy to do that. I have lots of things to say about it. I'd be more than happy to ramble on about this movie as well. So like I said, drop a comment and have a great day, guys.